I'm James Hunt, 62 years old. What I'm about to share with you is something I genuinely wish someone had sat me down and made me understand when I was younger. I'm serious about that. So stay with me. Don't skip ahead, because each point will land differently if you really take a moment to reflect on it. I've seen it happen over and over again, in others and in myself. People slowly wrecking perfectly good lives through the same small set of mistakes.
Not loud, dramatic ones that make headlines, but quiet, subtle ones. The kind that build up over years, 10, 20, even 30, until one day you look around and barely recognize the life you've created, wondering how you drifted so far from the path you once imagined. I spent 40 years holding on to people, to grudges, to versions of my life that had already ended. And if I could sit you down for
10 minutes and make you understand just one thing, it's this. Letting go isn't a loss. It's the first time you actually get your life back. Most people think letting go happens in one big moment. A breakup, a loss, a decision you make late at night when you're finally fed up. That's what I thought too. I was wrong.
Letting go doesn't happen once. It happens in layers, quietly, repeatedly. Sometimes so subtly you don't even realize it's happening until one day, something that used to feel heavy just doesn't anymore. For me, it didn't start with courage. It started with exhaustion. There's a kind of tired you feel when you've been carrying something for too long. Not physically, but mentally. Conversations you replay, things you wish you said, people you wish had been different. I carried those for years. Decades, actually. And the strange part is, I got used to it. It became part of my identity. The guy who remembers. The guy who holds on. The guy who doesn't forget. But here's what nobody tells you. Holding on doesn't make you strong. It just makes you heavy. I remember sitting alone one evening. Nothing dramatic, just a quiet moment. And realizing I couldn't even tell what I was still holding on to. Or why. Some of it didn't even matter anymore. The people had changed. The situations were long gone, but the weight was still there, like muscle memory. And that's when it hit me. I wasn't holding on to those things. They were holding on to me. That realization changes something in you. Not all at once, but enough to start asking better questions. Like, what am I actually afraid of losing here? Because when you really sit with it, most of what we hold on to isn't love or loyalty. It's identity. It's the story we've been telling ourselves for years. If I let go of this resentment, then what was all that pain for? If I forgive them, does that mean it was okay? If I move on, who am I without this story? Those questions kept me stuck longer than anything else. I used to think letting go meant saying it didn't matter. But that's not true. It did matter. It mattered a lot. That's why it stayed with you. That's why it shaped you. Letting go isn't about erasing the past. It's about changing your relationship to it. For years, I carried resentment like it was proof that I'd been wronged. Like it justified everything I felt. But all it really did was keep me tied to moments I couldn't change anymore. And here's the hard truth I had to face. You can be right and still be stuck. You can win the argument in your head 1,000 times and still lose years of your life replaying it. At some point, I had to decide what I valued more.
being right or being free. And that's where the real work begins. Because deciding to let go is one thing, actually doing it is something else entirely. No one teaches you how uncomfortable it feels at first. You reach for the anger out of habit, and it's not there the same way. You try to replay the story, and it feels tired, like you've heard it too many times. There's this strange emptiness that shows up, and most people mistake it for something being wrong. It's not wrong. It's space. But space can feel terrifying when you've spent years filling it with noise. I remember catching myself almost going back, almost picking the resentment back up, just because it felt familiar. That's how powerful these patterns are. We don't just hold on to pain, we get comfortable with it. So I had to replace the question. Not, why did this happen to me? But what am I choosing to carry forward? Because letting go isn't passive. It's a decision you make over and over again, especially on the days when the old feelings come back knocking. And they will. You'll have moments where something small triggers everything again. A word, a place, a memory, and for a second, it's like nothing has changed. That doesn't mean you failed. It just means you're human, and you're in the middle of unlearning something that took years to build. What finally made it stick for me wasn't a breakthrough moment. It was something much quieter. I started noticing what I was gaining, not what I was losing. More peace in ordinary moments. More patience with people who hadn't done anything wrong. More presence in my own life instead of constantly being pulled back into old ones. And the biggest one, more energy. I hadn't realized how much of myself I was spending every single day holding on to things that were already over. Conversations that would never happen, outcomes I couldn't change, versions of people that didn't exist anymore. Letting go gave that energy back, and with it, something else showed up. Clarity. You start to see people as they are, not as you wish they were. You start to accept endings without needing dramatic explanations. You start to understand that closure isn't something someone else gives you. It's something you decide. That was a hard one for me. I used to wait for apologies, for acknowledgement, for some kind of resolution that made everything feel complete. Most of the time, it never came. And I had to accept that some doors don't close neatly. Some just stop opening. That's when I learned this. Closure is not a conversation. It's a decision. After 40 years, this is what I know for sure. Letting go isn't about becoming someone who doesn't care. It's about becoming someone who cares about the right things. Your peace, your time, the life that's actually in front of you. You don't wake up one day completely free of everything. That's not how it works. But you do start to notice a shift where the past stops being the center of your life and becomes just a chapter in it. And once that happens, you stop asking, why did this happen to me? You start asking, what do I want now? That question changes everything. Because for the first time, your life isn't being shaped by what you're holding on to. It's being shaped by what you're willing to release. So if there's something you've been carrying, something that's been sitting in the background of your life for years, start small. Not with a grand gesture, not with some dramatic declaration. Just loosen your grip. One thought at a time. One memory at a time. One decision at a time.
That's how it happens. Not all at once, but enough that one day you look back and realize you're not carrying it anymore. And the strangest part?
You don't even remember the exact moment it left your hands. There's no ceremony, no final goodbye, no clear line where the old version of you ends and the new one begins. It's quieter than that. You just wake up one day and it doesn't hurt the same. The thing that used to take over your thoughts now passes through them. The name that used to tighten your chest now feels distant. The story you used to tell with so much emotion now sounds like something that happened to someone else. That's when you realize letting go didn't take something from you. It returned something to you. Your attention, your energy, your ability to be here fully without being pulled backward every few minutes. And maybe that's the part I wish I understood earlier. You don't lose anything by letting go that was truly meant for you. You only lose what was already slipping away, and the illusion that you could hold it in place forever.
So, if you take anything from this, let it be this. You don't have to wait 40 years to figure this out. You don't have to carry something just because you've been carrying it for a long time. You don't have to keep reliving a chapter that's already ended. You're allowed to put it down. Not because it was easy. Not because it didn't matter, but because your life is still moving, with or without it. And the longer you hold on, the more of that life you miss. So start where you are. There's something, even now, that you know you're ready to release. You felt it, that quiet nudge, that moment where you almost let it go, and then picked it back up again out of habit. Next time that moment comes, pause and choose differently. Because letting go isn't about the past. It's about finally giving yourself permission to live in the present. If this meant something to you, consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you don't miss what comes next. And if any part of this spoke to you, take a moment to share it. Tell me which lessons stayed with you, and leave a like if you feel it deserves to be heard by others. Time has a way of moving quietly, but relentlessly, and none of us are here forever. But while we are, there's value in passing on what we've learned, especially the lessons that came through pain, reflection, and growth. If even one of these insights helps you avoid a mistake or strengthen something meaningful in your life, then it was worth sharing. And truly, I'm glad you stayed and listened.